Hi, my name is Brent, and today we're going to be talking about Gone Home. But before we begin, I just thought I would provide a little bit of context. Because of how much a game like Gone Home plays on nostalgia, I think it's only appropriate to consider a few unique characteristics of the world Gone Home was born into. So let's rewind the clock back a bit, all the way back to 2013. So yeah, not too long ago, but still, a lot has happened since then. Number 1. 2013 was probably the best year for gaming in recent memory. No year since has ever managed to put forth such a plethora of incredible interactive experiences. The AAA industry in particular hasn't even come close to their level of success. BioShock Infinite, The Last of Us, Metro Last Light, Super Mario 3D World, Saints Row 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the Tomb Raider reboot, Rayman Legends, and Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, wow, talk about an amazing year, right? And not to mention some other smaller titles, like Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Papers, Please, and, of course, a small game made by a small team called Gone Home. And number 2, 2013 is now in hindsight kind of the tipping point for LGBT rights here in the United States. Before 2013, only 6 states had granted the right to marry to gay and lesbian couples. After 2013, 16 states had granted that right. And while it would take another 2 years to legalize it throughout the country, 2013 was the year many politicians and the public in general started to realize the numbers were against them. The younger and younger you went, the higher percentage of people who supported gay marriage you got. Through the process of societal evolution, well, the lovers were just beginning to outweigh the haters. I think both of these contexts are very important to consider going forward. Was Gone Home the best game of all time? No, not by a long shot. That was The Last of Us. Was it even the best game of 2013? No, like I said, that was The Last of Us. But looking back through this lens has kind of helped me to understand why the game exploded in popularity and affection. Despite just being a superb experience, of course, and it really is something special which we're going to get to in a moment. But Gone Home was caught up in 2 sweeps of history. One was being released in a year where so many of us were just loving games anyways. 2 was just being released in a year where those of us who supported LGBT rights, well, we started to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is meant to temper, or at least explain away, some expectations. Ironically, due to the oceans of praise this game received, many have felt a bit underwhelmed by the experience when they finally got to play it. And I wish to do away with that. Gone Home is an exploration game designed by Steve Gaynor and made by the Fulbright Company, the same team that had previously worked on the BioShock Infinite DLC Minerva's Den. In interviews, Gaynor has talked about the importance of creating realistic characters. Not simply believable characters, but ones that were quite literally us. Characters with somewhat trivial wants and desires. Just regular, everyday people. People with secrets and insecurities. And while it's a bit strange that they leave notes around the house that spell out those secrets and insecurities, the revelations are nevertheless insightful. The major one, of course, is Sam coming to terms with her sexuality in the journals to the player. However, what I found to be most gripping about her storyline was to watch how Sam's story of a pirate captain slowly evolved throughout the different stages of her life. Throughout the house, there are several iterations of a story written by Sam depicting the adventures of the fearless pirate Captain Allegra and her first mate. The same story changes from a goofy children's tale into what could be called a direct allegory for Sam and her girlfriend Lonnie. So much so that the two have even planned to dress up as the captain and her first mate in straight-up cosplay mode. And yes, it's adorable as it sounds. It's almost as if her unconscious creative self was helping her explore an aspect of her life that was too difficult to discuss out loud. However, Sam's life isn't the only one that we get to learn about. Sam's parents almost act as a mirror opposite to their daughter. Her father is struggling creatively and is having to come to terms with being a failed writer. So much of a failure that he's close to losing a job writing for sound system reviews that an old friend got him, and he's begun to turn to alcohol to drown out his troubles. In contrast, Sam is starting to discover her real talent for writing and is preparing to enter an advanced writing program in college. Her mother, on the other hand, is struggling with her marriage. No longer feeling the same passion that she felt in her youth, her mom entertains the idea of starting an affair with a coworker, as opposed to Sam, who's currently enjoying the bliss of new love. This sense of contrast helps to both flesh out the characters in the story, but also serves to illustrate why a conflict exists between them. Sure, the refreshingly unspoken religious aspect serves as the primary reason for the divide between Sam and her parents, But these tangential details help to reinforce the conflict in a way that makes the trope feel a bit less cliche. But that's all simply a surface level analysis of the game. What I just talked about was text. What makes the game brilliant, however, is, well, this feeling the game deliberately invokes. Now I want you to pull back into your memories one more time. Think back to a time you felt a sense of unease in your own home. Perhaps it was dark, or the lights were flickering. Or maybe you just thought you heard something that you knew couldn't be there. You know you're safe and there's nothing wrong, but you can't shake that tingling feeling crawling up your spine. Then you turn on the light, or you hear the voice of a loved one.
Dear Katie.
And suddenly the tension building inside you dissipates. And you feel calm and warm inside. Like a great horror game builds and releases tension that comes from dread, Gone Home does the same with familiar unease. It's a feeling I've never felt in a game, or in any other artistic medium for that matter. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I disagree with the notion that Gone Home would have worked better as a book or a movie. The interactive element that is so unique to games actually amplifies the feeling of empathy, even with someone we don't know, like our protagonist Katie. This incredibly cathartic sensation that tickles the nerves is the unspoken brilliance at Gone Home's core. Yes, the story is sweet and the music is calming, but these serve to support this central cycle. A cycle no game has ever really come close to capturing. In the years since its release, Gone Home's influence can be seen in everything from Life is Strange to Firewatch. While by no means the first indie darling to ever catch fire on the internet, Gone Home, in my opinion, helped to open the door to this kind of lived-in experience in video games. Not the overly passive experiences like Dear Esther, or the action games with an emotional center like The Last of Us, but something in between. A sense of living in a world how we do in our everyday lives. A dualistic nature of pursuing goals and simply appreciating the poetry of the world we find ourselves in. So, while by no means a universally loved game, much in the same way Brokeback Mountain and Fruitvale Station were not universally loved movies for one reason or another, Gone Home will always hold a place in my heart for one reason. Its empathetic simplicity.
Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, if you did, to hit like. Also, you might want to share it with some of your friends, if they're interested in this kind of thing too. So, this is going to be kind of a soft reboot of the channel here. I know I've been kind of off and on uploading content here, but now I got a couple of friends who are going to be helping me out with some additional content, and we're going to try and make this thing a little bit more consistent. But we'll see, if time permits us, we will. I'm going to try and put up one of these kind of videos every month, and a couple of my friends and I are working on another kind of project, which hopefully you guys get to see soon. And yeah, other than that, I just kind of hope you enjoyed that. If you like those kind of beautiful clips at the end, those are kind of part of our Vine, so you can follow us. Don't forget to also look at us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You guys know the drill, that kind of thing. And most important, if you really enjoy this stuff, then please consider checking out our Patreon account. And we currently have no patrons whatsoever. None of you guys want to give us money, which is understandable. The content to this point has not been exactly exceptional. But if we get to the point where we get $100 per month from you guys out there, we're going to start taking this a little bit more seriously, giving you guys an exact schedule that we're going to aim to hit every single month, and so on and so forth, and we'll try and make things a little bit more professional around here. But in the meantime, this is the start of something cool. I hope so anyways. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.